All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Helm Developer Call, Thursday, December the 4th, 2025. The call is recorded, so if you don't wish to be on camera, please, well, recorded. And your video image posted to the internet, please turn off your camera. And also note that the call follows the CNCF Code of Conduct. Um, and so please be polite. To start, if anybody wants to see the notes, Karen just dropped a link in the Zoom chat. I'll go through them here. We don't have any announcements listed. If anybody wants to mention something quickly. All right. No announcements. Discussion. So Matt Farina has open votes, which I think is more of a thing for maintainers, which I know I voted for Terry to be maintainer. I don't know if that's been finalized yet. So I guess that's not probably relevant for discussion quite today. Web has OCI-based Helm repositories interest. Is Web on the call? Okay, I'm just opening the issue. I suspect this is probably something to discuss with the maintainer, with the raiser of this issue. Unless for the recording purposes, anybody has a particular comment?
I think this is the Helm show thing, isn't it? That Josh opened a PR for. But I don't know anything about it. I haven't looked at the PR just because I was overwhelmed with other stuff when that was going on. But it'd be a good thing to have.
Yeah, my understanding is that, well, at least yeah, I guess my understanding is that we should be careful because we wouldn't be building on, except for listing tags, OCI has no ability to search nor discover. So we wouldn't be building on top of a standard. And then the problem is if OCI introduces something, then we would invent our own thing.
Yeah, I've had a
So
lot of conversations around that, and OCI really has no opinion on this topic. So anything that would happen would not be anytime soon. I asked them to open up a HIP regarding, certain things just to see if we can get some thought around this, but it would be something very custom, and I'm worried about that.
I would agree that the HIP is the right way forward here. Not a GitHub issue, so um, in the spirit of moderating, I can move forward unless anybody else has any. Okay. Terry, prompt AI translations for the doc site.
Yeah, so it would be nice if Scott and Paige were here, but I just thought I'd bring it up. I met really briefly with the prompt AI folks at KubeCon, and they're talking about that they could potentially automate the translation process. And so kind of anything that got pushed to the English would automatically be translated. I think we need to go there somehow. It's a matter of how we do that. And that's it. The Prompt AI founder opened up an issue so we could discuss it there. And I linked it in the notes. That's it.
I would agree. Yeah, Scott and Paige, probably particularly Paige, are probably the contacts or the doc side at this, or the decision makers for the doc sites at this point. I certainly think AI would like AI is fantastic at doing language translation. It's just yeah, how like um ideally would be on pull request and they done via service which supports this. But yeah, I guess if the prompt AI folks are involved and the founder is willing to support, uh, then this is a positive sign, but it would still be a decision discussion would need to be had around the ongoing support from a vendor, I guess we'd call them in this case. But anyway, let's maybe discuss this next week as well. or with Paige and Scott.
Cool.
All right, moving forward, Bennett. Uh, we want your a approval on the max size. Actually, I think I'll jump in. Sorry, do you want to go first?
No, no,
Or
it's okay.
or you?
This is so the subject about the max charge size and max file size. It's something that was introduced as a security measure, and I made a pull request a long time ago, and I think it's still interesting to merge them because some people are stuck into a previous version before the security patch. So because they cannot upgrade, so because of the charge size. And I made a request, but I was curious to know about what do you think about having Kubernetes quantity as a unit when you want to specify a side. This was a suggestion from George. It was not specifically about Kubernetes quantity. It was more about be able to pass like megabyte units and stuff like that. So it's more easy to understand. So I don't know if you agree to about using the Kubernetes library for that. Uh, I think it's a good idea, but if we do this, I think it can open onto more common flag arguments and option into Kubernetes into Helm. So I'm curious to know what do you think about this?
Um, my hot take would be, yeah, supporting units would be a good idea. Um, how the library, I suspect Kubernetes library is probably the best one because we already have a heavy dependency on the Kubernetes libraries rather than
Yeah.
another third-party one. But it's, I guess, really about the provenance of the library that we use, which I don't have the details offhand of different Golang unit passing libraries out there. Um, but yes, I agree with the idea. It's just, yeah, the library choice is probably important. I was actually going to say one other thing for this PR. The reason it was introduced was because the JSON schema library had a denial of service bug where a large object could um, could cause unbounded memory issues or high memory issues at least. That JSON schema library and that particular problem now no longer exists. So there is a curiosity as to whether we actually need this functionality in Helm, which after you've made the PR is probably not the best thing to hear, but it's probably better if we don't have to support this, or if there's no specific purpose to support these limitations, um then we should revisit whether we actually need them.
Okay.
Um,
I can look at this. I can try to reproduce the security issue and
yeah, it's definitely an issue on the Helm security issue tracker.
okay.
There'll be a place to find it. Anything else on this topic?
No.
Okay, Bennett, you're up next.
Yeah,
PR.
yeah, this is a very small one. This is something I've introduced in 4.0. It's an unnecessary warning that is popping everywhere. So I think it could be great to merge this before the next patch version. It's a very small one, but yeah, it's an unnecessary warning.
Yeah, it was probably just logging was converted. Um, uh, uh, we already did release 4.0.1, so minor with 4.0.2 or 4.1,
Yeah.
but I agree. I'll try and improve this PR after the call. Uh, and that's the list of items. Does anybody else have anything else to discuss?
Hi, folks. Sorry I joined a few minutes late. Um, I've got two things. Um, One is just a simple reminder. Next Wednesday is 4.0.2. So if we see anything else that we want to get out there as bug fixes, and I know there's a couple of them, some odd situations, bugs, panics, things like that people have found, we'll get those cut and out the door next Wednesday. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on. If you know of something, please ping me. I'm happy to review it, but I'd like to get the next one out 4.0.2 here soon. Um, and then I have kind of a controversial topic I wanted to bring up. Um, and that is we've got some new interfaces in there, and under Go's rules, once an interface goes in and is released, you never add or change it. Which in most languages, well, that's if you how do I put it? If you expect it to be an internal only interface, it's okay to change it. And they even put some things on it to force it to be an internal only interface. But if you expect others to implement it, then don't ever change it. But I'm wondering if in 4.1 we might be okay adding some methods to a couple of the brand new interfaces that I don't think anybody's implemented yet. And I'm looking at the accessor interfaces inside charts. And I was wondering what people thought about that idea. Sort of goes against conventions. I don't think anybody's actually implemented these yet. I don't know if anybody will implement them, but I was wondering what folks think about it. Because otherwise we get into some type switching when we start to add some methods to it and we create some new interfaces. And I'm wondering if it's early enough in the 4.0, in the 4 cycle to do something like that. And I'm wondering what you all think.
Um, Personally, I tend to be in favor of being more pragmatic around backwards compatibility than straight along the line. So if we think this is a pragmatically okay decision to take, then I'm on board. Um, I'd agree that they are new, and at least if the consumers of the interfaces have implemented them, then it's fresh in people's memory, and they can do extensions easily enough, rather than we're changing something which someone did
Yeah.
5 years ago and no one knows what the decision purpose was or whatever. Um, so yeah, I pragmatically think that's okay. Um, but we should be careful and not cause undue burden, of course.
Yeah, agreed. And that's why I was only looking at specifically ones because there are some properties I would throw on there. That would be quality of life ones, not change, well, additions, not changes. And I don't expect anybody to implement these for quite a while, if ever. So, Terry, do you have any thoughts on this? You're awfully quiet over there.
No, I agree with George.
Okay.
I favor pragmatic approach.
Mr. Andrew Block, do you have any thoughts?
Nothing that jumps out. So kind of going
Okay.
with the mold.
Okay. If I do a PR to add something, I will ping all of you for your thoughts on that particular one.
Awesome. Okay,
Okay.
moderating again. I will say, uh, I guess we go back to your type item, Matt. There's open votes, which I think is more of a ping for probably Andy at this point too. If I think Andy joined after this one, if you haven't voted.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think there's now 2 open votes still going on. I will go ahead and raise them up and ping people on those votes. I will be the nagger on them. So, all right, sir, gentlemen, that's it. Check your stuff. Keep your eyes
Cool.
open if you're a maintainer on something for open vote stuff.
Um, awesome. So I will go back down to hip review. Uh, there's Musson. I don't know if he joined the call. I'm just looking at the. So there's a curiosity in Helm, which Musson has made a hip for, where Helm ignores unknown hip delete policy values and then therefore doesn't delete the object. And therefore some people have discovered this and use this to their advantage. So the hip is loosely proposing to add a formal hook delete policy never, because that's what people are doing today implicitly. But there's some options on there, so it's probably worth taking a look. I won't try and repeat the hip in the call. And I think we should probably have I didn't quite make this comment on the hip, but I will, a proposal for charts v2 and a proposal for charts v3. So he's just listed the options. Awesome. All right. Anybody else have any comments on this one? I gave this bill because I was just reviewing it. And one for me, which I think came from last week. Uh, I've been working on with Andrew, sorry, I can, uh, on supporting container tools configuration. So this is the registries conf HIP sort of rebranded as we've gone through the iterations of deciding on what how we should implement this. So the loose gist is that right now we're authenticating to OCI repositories, sorry, registries. Helm uses Docker config. There's a lot of functionality that the Container Tools project, which is Podman, Builder, Scipio, etc., support. And they average client-side OCI configuration, such as like doing mirrors and aliasing. And this solves some nice problems for Helm where people have internal mirrors, and right now we can't rewrite chart dependencies for OCI, but they could if they just stuck it down into the native tooling. So I think this is a nice solution rather than Helm having to implement something more custom. So yeah, just reviewing the HIP. It should be good for review at this point. I think Andy made some comments and I forgot to update. But I think they're minor spelling and stuff. So yeah, the content is there for others to take a look at, please. I think Terry's also had a look. Is that right, Terry?
Yep.
Awesome.
It's looking good to me.
Yeah, comments, feedback would be awesome. Um, uh, right. Any shout outs or any final hit review items that people want to throw in there? Shout outs, social media amplification. We can do assignments for next week. Moderator, I can probably moderate again. I have a meeting which conflicts, but it gets cancelled most of the time, so I can most likely be here.
I
I
can
won't
do
promise
notes
to do notes though.
again. I'll
Okay,
do
awesome,
it.
thank you. I see Evans is sticking himself down for issue triage, and I can do some peer review and issue triage. And I'll set myself down as probably present. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll be here next week. I do have a conflict at the same time, it looks like. What I will be doing is issue triage and PR reviews. And whoever's been doing a bunch of the issue triage, I haven't looked. Somebody's been going through because I keep going in there to triage issues, and a bunch of the stuff's done. So somebody's been keeping up with some of this stuff. Props to that.
Yes, thank you. Actually, one other thing, if we do triage, can we make sure we tag each issue with the appropriate help wanted, if it's, oh sorry, more openly like question supports, bug. Yeah, keeping those tags up is super useful to know whether it's been triaged or not, and whether, and also post like statistics on what issues are going through the queue, what types.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Last thing I'll mention is for the maintainers. I put together a proposal for the maintainer talk. I know a lot of you did go through it. I know there was going to be, I think it was Robert who said he might put a proposal together for the contributor talk. And I also have a proposal that I'd like to do for the maintainer summit. So that's kind of on our roadmap. I think we have a week left. Karen might be able to give you better guidance on what the timing is. It's like a week or so until the CFPs for the project close for KubeCon EMEA.
Nice. I don't know whether I'm going to be going. I'm at re:Event this week, and I feel like I just came off KubeCon already, so feeling a little conferenced out. But I guess I should start thinking about this more strongly because, as you say, we've got a week.
Yeah, and if folks want help reviewing, I am not planning on going to this one. I have a personal conflict, and so I'm not planning on going this time. So I'm happy to review or help people with slides or any of that stuff. But yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
All right. Thank you, Andy, for getting that together. I will chase on my side.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be going. So if any help is needed, I mean, there's booth work and all that. So just
Yeah.
put me in there.
Awesome.
Alrighty. Thank you all. I think
Okay.
we've got some minutes if there's anything else, but otherwise I've gone through the agenda for today's call.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Right.